Hello everyone and welcome to lesson 6.7. Here's your objective. I will be able to use properties to simplify expressions, and the main property we're going to use today is the associative property. Remember, that's when you're adding or multiplying three numbers, okay, or variables. If it's just addition or just multiplication, you could switch them around, and that's the associative. The distributive is when we are multiplying two addition numbers or variables. So we'll use that one a little bit too, but mostly the associative property. And if you forgot those things, you might want to rewatch the video from that lesson, those two lessons. All right, so simplify. Let's get going. All right, we're going to start by simplifying this expression using the associative property. We're multiplying three different numbers, so that means it doesn't matter what order we're going to be doing. So basically we have 4 times 6x, and 6x is really 6 times x. Okay, there's a little glare right there, but hopefully you can see it. That says 6x. So we need to multiply 4 times 6 times x, and we need to simplify because we don't know what x is. All right, so I broke it down here so that we have 4 times 6 times x. I just separated the 6 and the x. Then I switched it around. I'm multiplying 4 times 6 and pulling the x out, because it doesn't matter what order we do, and because of the associative property. And then I'm going to multiply 4 times 6 and get 24, and I'm going to multiply that by x, and since I don't know what x is, 24 times x is simply 24x, which is still 24 times x. All right, so the main thing to know here is because of the associative property, I could switch things around to simplify it. All right, I didn't solve anything, I just simplified. 4x, if you can't see it, it says 4 times 6 times x, and I just simplified that to become 24x. All right, moving on. I'm going to simplify these three right here. Now, the first one, I have x plus x plus x. Well, I have 3 x's, so that one's simply just 3x. That one might be a little confusing. We'll talk about it in groups, but it's just x plus another x plus another x. How many x do I have? I have 3x, and I don't know what x equals. So it's just simplified to that. Now, because of the associative property again, with 3 times x times 11, I could switch these around. I'm going to do 3 times 11 first, and then that's my multiplication sign, and then I'm going to multiply x after. I just switch them around. I could put my parentheses if I like, and I will. 3 times 11 is 33. Now I bring down my x, I'm left with 33 times x. I don't know if you can see those multiplication signs there. And 33 times x is simply just 33x. All right, so I broke it. The point of simplifying is to make it look simpler. Instead of having 3 numbers or 2 numbers in the variable, now I just have 1 number and 1 variable. All right, over here I'm adding, so with the associative property, I have 3 different numbers, and variables in there. So I'm going to add like terms first, okay? Because 7x and x are like terms because there's an x there. So I'm going to switch this up to 7x plus x plus 8. All right, I can't add 8 to those because it's a variable, so I'm going to have to leave that alone until the end. So what's 7x plus x? Well, that means I have 8 x's. So these two make an 8x. Now, I'm just going to bring up my plus 8. I'm left with 8x plus 8. I can't make that 16x, all right, because 8 is not the same as 8x, because we don't know what x is. So I'll erase this down here, and you can see it simplified a little better. 7x plus 8 plus x is really equal to 8x plus 8, all right, because these are like terms with 7x and x, all right. Now I'm going to simplify with 2 variables using my associative property. All right? 2 variables. I have x and I have 2 y's. So that's 3 variables total, but 2 different kind of variables. All right, because it's all adding, I could switch things around because of the associative property. Now, I'm going to add my 14y plus 22y because they're like terms. They're both y's. I'll put those back in parentheses. I'm going to move my x out, plus x. Now you could probably already realize that once we're done simplifying, we're going to end with plus x by itself. Alright, so I have 14y's plus 22y's. What does that equal? 22 plus 14 equals 36. 36y. Alright, and I still have my x over there, so I just bring that down. And there's my simplification of it. 36y plus x. I made it as simple as possible. I can't go any further because y and x are different. I can't combine those. And that's because of the associative property, I was able to move things around. So it's important to know those properties when we're simplifying expressions. Alright, I have another one. Here we go. I'm going to use the distributive property for the first time in this lesson. I'm going to distribute because I have an addition sentence with multiplication. So this 4 is really going to multiply this by this 2x, and I'm going to multiply it by y. Alright? So what's 4 times 2x? 4 times 2x is 8x. And what's 4 times y? I have to bring my addition sign down as well. What's 4 times y? It's just 4y. Okay, so now I've just distributed, and I have 8x plus 4y. And I'm all set. I'm all done with that one. That's as far as I can go because there's no more like terms. X and y are different. All right, I just distributed that 4 to the 2x and distributed that 4 to the y. Okay. Now, we have that backwards thing again where we have to work backwards. Factor this expression. So I'm going to work backwards to actually make it longer again, but just show my thinking really. So if I'm going to factor this back out, I've got to find the greatest common factor between 27 and 18. And that is clearly 9. 9, 18, goes in twice. 9, 18, 27. So I'm going to have a 9 to deal with on the outside that I'm going to distribute to get back to this. So 9 times 3x would equal 27x. And then I'm going to put my addition sign. And 9 times 2y would equal 18y. Okay, so I worked backwards. So if I did 9, if I just use the distributive property and redistribute this 9, 9 times 3x would equal 27x. I'll put that little arrow there. And then 9 times 2y would equal 18y. All right? So I kind of work backwards by finding, when it says factor this expression, which you'll see in your book, you have to find the greatest common factor and pull it out. All right, I don't give you a question like that in the homework, but you'll see it in your book. Here's your homework. You have to simplify each expression. You have 5 times 6 times x. Simplify that as best you can. Then you have 2x plus 5y plus 7x. You have two different variables, so make sure you're only combining like terms. And then again, you have, so these two are the associative property. You're going to be using the distributive property for this one right here. You're going to distribute the 4 times 2x and then the 4 times 5y. All right, those are your 3 problems. Try them out. Do the best you can, and we'll see you when we see you.